just looking at the perceptions that are out there across America right now, I know there's a perception that the jobs are being taken from Americans that would like to have those jobs.
Sure.
Of course, the discussions out there that, well, the Americans won't do the jobs. I actually met with a lady on Saturday back in Greene County, Tennessee, and she's worked for 49 years. She lost her job last week. And there is a high frustration level out there across my district in East Tennessee, and I think probably across America. People are concerned, and they take illegal being exactly that, starting with that premise being illegal. I know there's a study out there, one of the surveys by NFIB, even small business owners that belong to NFIB say that 70 to 80% of the business owners see this as an issue that we need to deal with. It's putting burden on small businesses. The small business owners, they start jobs to be a florist or a healthcare worker or whatever that small business is, and they didn't really get into the business to be an accountant or be a lawyer or have a department to deal with human resources. They really just want to go out and do that job that they knew how to do and create those jobs and grow that business. What is your thought on how can we make it easier for those small businesses to do what they started that small business to do? That's the number one thing. And then how can we, either perception or reality, get to that point where Americans understand that either jobs are being taken, number one, we need to answer that, from people, jobs that they would take, or number two, that's not reality?
Number one, I think small business people need a reliable, simple system to verify the employee. And that's what we offer. So we make it electronic. And if we have a biometric Social Security card, if we, the poor small businessman, he can use a driver's license. Hell, in Illinois, our former governor went to jail for selling driver's licenses. And there are people manufacturing driver's licenses and false. He says, oh, good, this is something I can rely on. He swipes it once, or he goes on the computer and it says David Davis, and your photo shows up on the Homeland Security. Simple system. And then he gets, he sends it on the computer, he sends it over phone to DHS, and he gets one simple piece of paper. All the rest of the application form and all the other verification, he can put it away because it says David Davis is good to go, and he puts that in his file. So I think he needs something reliable and quick so he can get it done in one day. Secondly, the best way I can answer your question is our economy creates about 400,000 low-wage, low-skilled jobs a year. But we only offer 5,000 visa for low-skilled, low-wage workers a year. So here's an economy that's exploding in these low-wage, low-skilled jobs. Does that sometimes go over to other jobs? Probably. Can we find anecdotal evidence of this person be affected or that person? But in the totality, the immigrants obviously buy cars, buy groceries, buy tires, buy clothes, rent apartments, contribute to the economy. Social Security Trust Fund has tens of billions of dollars in an unaccountable count. They have the money. They'll tell us as members of Congress we have it, but they can't tell you who that money really belongs to or how they're going to get it back to someone for the simple reason they were using bad Social Security cards and they're not identifiable. Lastly, let's look prospectively. You were born between 46, 64. That makes you a baby boomer. Makes me a baby boomer, right? There are 80 million baby boomers. In 20 years, the youngest baby boomer is going to be 81. The oldest baby boomer will be 81, and the youngest will be 63. 80 million people. I'm not saying all of them will leave the workforce. Because we're living longer, many of them will need care. They'll be retired. Our Social Security system is going to be hurting. But the most important thing, think about those tens of millions of people that are going to be leaving the workforce. At current rates of birth rates here in the United States, in the next 20 years, we will increase about 13 million people, given current birth rates. Who's going to take over the jobs of the tens of millions of people in the baby boomers as they retire? We're going to have to grapple with this issue. So we want to do it strong and effectively and securely, and we want to make sure that people have a legal document to come here because it's good for our economy, too.
If your legislation were to pass, when would this swipe card actually go into effect? How long are we talking about?
Much of it in critical infrastructure would happen rather quickly within the first to second year. But the other thing we do is we say till we get to that biometric system, we say that you must have a driver's license to get a job under the Real ID Act. Okay, a driver's license, or we say you have to bring your passport, which is biometric and has a swipe. So we limit the numbers immediately of kinds of identification that an employer can use.
Thank you.